Yes, you can bake your skates like that, but then you will need new ones and probably a new oven as well. Further though, I have seen Europeans watching baking skates tutorials, and baking skates tutorials are mostly done so far in the US, and in the US they measure not in Celsius but in Fahrenheit, which means 175 degrees Fahrenheit, which is recommended for baking skates, are 80 degrees Celsius. But 175 degrees Celsius will definitely make your skate look like those Burger King commercial pans. Today I will show you how to do it right. This video has two parts. The first part is about finding out if you can even bake your skate, or if you can't, trust me, you don't want to miss this part. And part 2 is about how you can bake a new pair of skates at home. Let's start right into it after the intro. Before you even think about baking your skates, you need to buy a skate that fits you well. A skate that has your size, the right size, that is not too narrow, not too wide, just a skate that fits good. Because with baking or with thermoforming, you can improve the fit, you can break the skate faster to make it more comfortable earlier, but you can't, and you definitely can't, correct any issues with the fit. You can just make it more comfortable. Keep that in mind. Buy the right skate in the right size and then think about baking it. By the way, I already made a tutorial about finding the perfect skate, finding the perfect fit. It's popping up in the info button right now. And if your new pair of skates arrive, then it's time to find out if you can bake or thermoform it. The more expensive a skate is when you buy it, the worse is the first comfort, the first fit, the first feeling in the skate. But the more room you have to optimize it. Let me explain. And this is just a guideline, nothing 100% accurate, nothing that works on every skate, but it works on the most of the skates, and I guess it's pretty accurate. Beginner skates like this, Bauer XLS, XLP, Supreme M1, all those skates below 200 euros at the retail price are made to fit you good and feel comfortable from the first second. They are pretty soft, and they are not made to mold or thermoform them. That doesn't mean that it's not possible, but I guess those easy materials and the glue probably won't like heat changes and high temperatures too much. And I already tested this XLS, for example, and it fits from the first second. It's already pretty good. So absolutely not necessary to risk them in the oven. Medium level skates like this Bauer Supreme M3, so skates in a price range between 200 and 400, 500 bucks, they are thermoformable, not moldable. That's a difference, which means you can't bake the whole skate, but with those like double hair dryer things, you'll find them at the sports shop, I'll put a photo in, you can heat up the inside foam, the inside materials of this skate, and then they will take the natural form of your foot faster, easier, better. But don't try this at home with your hair dryers, because if you stuck a hair dryer inside it, then yeah, those hair dryers are made that they exhaust the heat, but if they get stuck in their own heat, they will melt themselves and probably burn the inside of your skate. I've already seen hair dryers that completely melted themselves into skates. You don't want that. Pro skates starting at 500 or 600 euros like this graph, PK 7900 Pro. Those are the skates made for the oven. Those are the skates that are moldable. So the inside is, as in the mid-range skates, fully thermoformable, but also the outside materials, mostly it's composite materials, are made to withstand those 80 degrees, to get heated up and to be baked and shaped perfectly around your foot. And as I said, this is just a guideline. I guarantee for nothing. If you want to try to bake your skates, you're fully responsible on that by your own. What about baking T-blade skates? I got in touch with T-blade and asked them about the regularities, temperatures for baking, etc. And what they said to me is, of course, don't do it with the entry-level skates like the XLS that sometimes come with plastic screws and nuts. They are not made for baking. Otherwise, the regular T-blade system shouldn't have a problem with 80 degrees Celsius. I decided when I bake it, I will leave the runner on because I don't want to put the weight of my foot on those sensitive parts of the holder. But this is a high level skate, a special edition skate. If you buy a more common T-blade skate like the Bauer Supreme M3, which are just made for thermoforming, then the heat of the thermoform of those hairdryer things won't even touch the T-blade system, so it doesn't matter. So just with high-level skates, I'm going to find out what happens with the T-blade system right now at this small kitchen at my workplace. But keep one thing in mind, at the moment you bake your skates at home or wherever, you will lose the warranty on the skate and on the T-blade system. So my first advice is always, if you want to get your skates baked, go to a skate shop or at least to a sports shop or a shoe shop, for example, shops that sell all kinds of winter boots for skiing or whatever. They are the pros, they have the knowledge, they keep the warranty running, and they tell you at least if you can bake your skate or not. But you're watching this video at the moment, so you want to see me baking my skates and want to learn how you can bake your skates at home. So if this video is helpful for you, please don't forget to subscribe if you don't want to miss more helpful tutorials in the future. The first thing you have to do is to preheat your oven to 80 degrees Celsius or 175 degrees Fahrenheit. By the way, I'm using this thermometer because those oven scales are not too precise, especially at those low temperatures. So I'm using this one to be absolutely sure that I don't burn my skates. By the way, this thermometer is linked in the description below because, as you can see, it's absolutely helpful. And then you have to prepare your skate for baking, which means that you install the laces that you will use later with the skate, that you remove the insoles because they don't want to get heated up. You will add them after heating. By the way, I'll put a link for the insoles in the description as well. I'm using them for years and they are like absolutely perfect for ice skating. And you have to open up your skate's laces as far as possible, because when the skate comes out of the oven, when it's heated up, you want to put on the skate as fast as possible. You don't want to lose a second when it's soft. And of course, don't forget to put on the socks you will use later with the skate as well for the perfect fit. Then when you reached 80 degrees or 175 degrees Fahrenheit, you switch off the oven, open it up, put in a towel or some baking paper or whatever, because you don't want to get the skate in contact with the direct heat. Put in the skate, close the door and wait for 6 to 8 minutes for the skate to get soft. Alright guys, 6 to 8 minutes are over on the second skate. I already put the first skate on, but I totally messed up my script, so I have a second try luckily on the other skate. Let's put it out and check it. You have to be very careful with it because it's absolutely fragile now. You have to be fast, so let's give it a quick check. Yeah, it feels absolutely nice and soft. Don't use too much force because, as I said, it's pretty sensitive. Now put the insole in. T-blade system also looks fine. Hot. And get into the skate. Carefully, you don't want to bend anything in the skate too much. And now bring the tongue into a good position, see if your foot has a good position in the skate, and now start lacing it up. What's absolutely important now at lacing up the skate, I put a little bit sideways so you can see it here, is that you pull outside. You don't want to have straight force from pulling on the eyelets. You can see I pull outside here on this eyelet. Of course this eyelet has a little bit pressure, but I pull outside and this pressure here is coming from pulling outside. And now I go to the next pair and pull outside again. So the shape here, the shaping of the laces is coming from pulling outside. And now I change the next lace to get the first pulling I had fixed. Don't use too much force on that. As I said, the skate is pretty soft, it's pretty sensitive. Just enough to give it a good shape. We are close to be finished, especially this top part now when you tied it up. Can see there is some force going on the eyelets, but probably you support the skate a little bit by pushing it inside with your fingers. See if the laces are fitting perfectly. Here, let's give it a little bit more. As I said, not too much force, just nice and smooth. The fit is good. Now here at the top part, you don't want to pull like an idiot. Just give it a little support with your fingers. And then when you pull it, that's what I would recommend. It's just giving it a slide. Push here like this. Don't use too much power, you don't want to rip it. And then, very important, don't stand up. Stay seated for at least 15, better 20 minutes. Take your time for that and bring the skate in a comfortable resting position that is similar to the position you will have in the skate later when you are on the ice. So kind of this angle, don't put any force here, don't put too much force on the tongue, just like your regular skating position on the ice. And now let's wait for 15 to 20 minutes.
20 minutes later.
Alright guys, 20 minutes passed. This skate now should fit me like a second skin, so it's time to open it up. Unlace it carefully, it's still sensitive, but unlace it as far as necessary that you can slip out of the skate comfortable without bending the materials too much. So this should work. Just pull out the tongue, not too far, keep the skate as good as possible in the shape you just gave him. And when your foot is out, then carefully relace the skate again into the shape you just gave him. Don't pull too far, don't pull too soft, just to the perfect form it had when it was on your foot. The laces pretty much take the shape I just gave them in the skate. Line up the tongue, lace it up nicely, and then let the skate stand upright and cool down and rest for another 24 hours. And after this period, the skate should feel like a second skin. By the way, if you want to know if this awesome pair of skates, my new pair of skates, now fits me perfectly, and of course if the T-blade system survived the oven, then check out the video popping up in the end card right now where I'll test and review this skate on the ice. If this video was helpful for you, please give it a thumbs up for the algorithm. Don't forget to subscribe if you don't want to miss anything in the future. Feel free to check out my merch. Feel free to follow me on Instagram. That's it for today, guys. See ya.